Christmas time, Christmas time, live for the last time. I've got a massive Christmas knit. That's enough of that. Morning, everyone. If you're as sad as I am, and I've come into the office on Christmas Eve, although it is like the office was quiet, not a mouse was stirring. Now, if I turn up the other mic, it picks up all the. You can't see it; it's just off camera. It picks up all the sort of ambient sounds outside. It might pick up some road noise actually because that's quiet. Let's have a listen. Nothing. Perfectly quiet. What a great time. What a great time to be in the office. What a great time to go live. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you've had a good year. The reason why I wanted to go live was a couple of things. One, there's a lot of change happening at the moment, both in MKL and the wider business world, although we don't quite know it yet, but it's happening. And also, last night my son gave me this, which according to Lucas, my 7-year-old, is an NFT. 7. He's 7.
I'm not sure I understand.
My watch just said, I'm not sure I understand. I think most people are like that at the moment. But he called this the Metanator. So a combination between the metaverse and the Terminator. He's 7. He's 7. And he explained to me all the different elements of the Metanator. Apparently, the Metanator is 300 foot wide. It doesn't make any sound whatsoever when it levitates or moves. These two things on the top here create energy, green energy, which can power the metaverse. But also we can live inside it as well. And I just thought that was brilliant. Because I've had these conversations with myself. We drive a lot. We do a lot of driving. And I've been talking to him about it because he's at that age now where he's playing Minecraft. He's sort of early flirting with the idea of gamification, Fortnite. John's coming. A utility. What's he saying? A utility NFT. I don't know what that means, John. I don't know. Explain what you mean. So he's getting to that age now where he's really understanding it. Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite. I keep him away from GTA, things like that. And I listened to a podcast the other day, and I heard someone say, if your kids have ever played Fortnite or they've ever bought skins, or if you've ever bought, for example, if you've got older kids and they're playing GTA, if they bought any sort of something bespoke for their character, be that a car, a bike, a weapon, some sort of clothing, whatever it might be, then you understand NFTs. It's as simple as that. And the reason why this is important is there's a lot of change happening, and it's happening right under our nose. What an exciting time! I mean, I think I was how old was I? I need to do the math. How old was I when the 1992? You can see I'm not maths is not my strong suit. I was around about 12, 13 years old when the internet first came out. So I'm 39 now. which meant there was 12 or 13 years without the internet. Now, if you've got kids that are 13 now, they've only grown up with the internet. And Lucas, my 7-year-old, will not know what not having the internet is like. He's too young now to have the conversation about it in terms of what it was like without the internet. But John, my business partner, he's got older kids of various ages, oldest being 16. So he understands the conversation around not having the internet. But when he was born, I think, well, technically he didn't have the internet for about 2 or 3 years, but he was a baby, so he wouldn't understand it anyway. But it's so foreign to them to not understand what it's like to not just Google something or jump on YouTube to learn a video or whatever that might be. And now we take it for granted. We just take it for granted that we've got the internet. I can just find out anything I want on a company, a person. I can buy stuff. I can do all the great things that we can do with the internet. And the internet has gone through different iterations of itself. And I believe that we've gone from Web 1, which is 1994 and 1996, when the internet first came around. And that Web 1 lasted until 2004. And within Web 1, you had read. So as in reading. So that was like your your Yahoo searches. Do you remember the AOL dial-up? That all that stuff. It's such a weird noise to it. I just started my computer this morning. Imagine hearing that noise when you start it up. It's just fascinating. And you weren't allowed to use your home phone at the same time. Whenever myself and John were on the internet in the late 90s, my dad would try to go to make a phone call and go, "Are you on that bloody internet?" No, Dad, no. And then you had those horrendous MSN chat rooms, which are completely unpoliced, by the way. You had a moderator in there. You had the moderators in the chat rooms. Bearing in mind, you're like 14 years old, moderators in these chat rooms. And then it was ASL. What people would just write ASL and they go age, sex, location. So I'm 14, I'm male, and I'm in Leeds. And then yeah, that's it. Yeah, John just yeah. ASL, yeah, age, sex, location. Yeah. I'll go back to that NFT utility, but I've diverted onto random dial-ups and chat rooms in Web 1. So that was Web 1. That was like the birth of the internet, version 1. And then from 2006 until 2021, I would say. Yeah. Okay. In terms of the masses, 2021, you're in Web 2. And that is read, write. So your Facebooks, your TikToks, your Instagrams, Spotify, things like that sits in Web 2. But it was also centralized. You've heard that terminology, big tech. Your Googles, your Facebooks, owning everything, really. Centralized technology, read and write. Now we're moving into Web 3, which is read, write, own. And it's that last part, which is fascinating. Decentralized. So we own a piece of this now. We can build on this now. You're a community now. You're going to be part of the community, whether you want to be or not. And this is where you will start to hear more and more terminology if you haven't already. I mean, cryptocurrency is not a new thing in regards to people hearing about it. I mean, I think even my dad knows always heard the term Bitcoin. He couldn't tell me exactly what it means, but he's heard the terminology Bitcoin. But you and I will start to hear more and more conversations around the blockchain, Ethereum, metaverse, NFTs. All these acronyms will become just standard conversations, especially within the corporate world. And smart contracts. Smart contracts are fascinating. Smart contracts are not a new thing, but smart contracts are only possible now in terms of their credibility and security because of the blockchain and how the blockchain works, and how it is almost a public ledger, which anybody can see, which you have people that are mining as well. Mining. Well, do you remember where you were when you heard someone first say, "I'm mining Bitcoin" or "I'm mining cryptocurrency"? And in my head, I thought, how are they mining something that's digital? How does that actually work? I didn't understand it. But what it means is basically, in this simple sense of the word, is that they've got software on their system which it's a race. It's like a gold rush. Do you remember when you had the gold miners years and years ago in the 1800s, and it'd be a rush to get to the gold first? It's basically that. So who can get there quick enough to create a node within the blockchain, hash it, and then add it to the blockchain? So it's basically who can, in a very simplistic word, who can add another block to the blockchain fastest. And if you've got a system or a process or a mining farm that can add to the blockchain the quickest, you get paid. You get paid in the native currency, which is Ethereum. For example, if you're obviously mining Ethereum or buying NFTs, which or doing anything within the sandbox, which sits on the Ethereum blockchain, if you can create that connection within the blockchain the fastest, then you will get paid as a result of that, which is why you probably see these huge mining farms. They were out in China. China's clamped down on it now severely. I think they've banned cryptocurrency, which shows you how important this is and how big this is going to be. Because if China are banning it, then there's something happening here. But these mining farms, they are a danger in terms of the environment because they use a considerable amount of energy. For example, one Ethereum coin uses the same equivalent energy as someone in the West does over 4 days. And that's quite a lot. And if you're considering the value of Ethereum and how many coins are knocking about at the moment, that's a lot of energy. That's electricity used not to grow crops, not to build houses, but to create a digital currency to allow you and I to transact within the metaverse. There are others, but within the metaverse, within the sandbox, using sand, which is a different currency. But that electricity is not going towards arguably the greater good. So there's a problem. There's a problem there. Now, we've seen lots of conversations around offsetting. So there's opportunities to offset the impact of the Ethereum blockchain in regards to how much energy it is consuming at the moment, and how much energy it is going to consume, and how much energy the metaverse will consume going forward. There's going to be a lot more stress put on the system. So there's an opportunity here for loads of people, both in terms of environmental impact, which is a huge opportunity. So how do you make the metaverse sustainable? And you might be thinking, well, the metaverse should be sustainable because it's just the internet. You're not building arguably in the physical world. However, you could, and you maybe should, look at doing things in the real world to complement your portfolio within the metaverse. And you can probably tell by my thinking that and the way that I'm talking is it's all so new, especially to us at the moment. So we're learning as we're going. But this is why it's so exciting, is that there's opportunities everywhere with this. There are so many opportunities. And if you think for us, I'm not going to play my hand, but there's a load of things that are happening in our organization at the moment that are going to revolutionize how we optimize buildings going forward. And there's some changes that we're making and some big announcements that we're going to make in the new year. But how we do this is very much around people. So we still need people. We still need engineers, both physical and digital. But it's going to require smart contracts. It's going to incorporate NFTs, and it's going to incorporate digital worlds, be that the Metaverse, Horizon Worlds, Decentraland, whichever one you decide it to be. That is where our organization is heading. It's the new frontier, and there's a big tail end to this, massive tail end to this whole debate around NFTs at the moment, and it is a bubble. It is. You look at some of the money knocking about at the moment for some of these NFTs, and it is phenomenal. Someone said to me, it is amazing once a human's basic needs are taken care of. John said, there's ether in those hills. That's the Ethereum currency. When a human being's basic needs are taken care of, it's amazing what things we will then do, such as what I'm talking about now. But not everybody's basic needs are taken care of, so we can't forget that. I mean, that's another side of it. How can NFTs, the blockchain, the metaverse, how can that help the disadvantaged? What can we do there? How do we support them? You know, you've got people pumping billions into the metaverse, into the blockchain, into cryptocurrencies, but yet you've still got people homeless. So there has to be a balance here. We can't see the metaverse as being the next panacea for human beings and human evolution and corporate evolution without taking everyone with us. I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it, of the metaverse, is that it's such an expanse and nobody owns it. That's the thing. That is the thing. You could say nobody owns the internet. Now, all right, but who do you do your searching through? You're going to go to Google. And if you aren't seen a friend in so many years, what are you going to go on? Arguably Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, possibly Twitter. So yes, no one owns the internet, but there are big monopolies within there. Now, you could say that's going to happen in the metaverse, but depending on where you lay your hat of where you want to live, work, operate, move about in the metaverse, that is your space. That is your space that you can own. And when I say own, I mean you do own it. Sits on the blockchain, completely unchangeable, which is a different conversation altogether when it comes to smart contracts. I was reading about it last night that you have to be so careful when you're making these smart contracts in terms of their vulnerability. So cybersecurity is going to be, if it's not already, it's going to be, these smart contracts, because there are some very clever people out there that can test for vulnerabilities. And if you've got a smart contract that maybe connects to different wallets, maybe you've got multiple wallets that sit within that smart contract that all have Ethereum in them, you can take that. And there's a very well-known case, I can't remember the company off the top of my head, but I think it was in 2017 or 18. There was $300 million worth of Ethereum stolen. $300 million worth of Ethereum stolen from a vulnerability within the smart contract. Yeah, scary. But this shouldn't deter you. It's like anything new, any new technology. We need to put checks and balances in place, but we can't stifle the innovation of this. And especially for us, in terms of MKL, the things that we can do and are going to do are Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Share my screen. I want to show you Horizon Worlds. Make sure that that's coming through. Yeah, cool. So if you watch this video here, so that's the metaverse. That's people within Horizon Worlds, but they're collaborative building. I mean, look at this. This is all through an Oculus Rift as well. So you've got your VR headset on. You are there in that room, collaborating, getting ideas, changing things, talking about them, making them live and breathe. And then they're doing various. What is fascinating is that once you've done your job, once you've done your day job, look, they're playing games. So it's a bit like going, do you want to go to the pub after this meeting? Nah. Let's go play a game of laser tag in the metaverse. Now, if you're, let me just stop that now. If you're from a maybe you're from a generation where you're looking at that and you're going, oh no, I'm not really into that. That doesn't really, I don't really get it. I don't really understand it. Then you need to get it and you need to understand it. And I don't mean you need to understand it from how do you build the thing, as in what is my, do I need to learn how to do coding? Do I need to do that? Arguably no. If you're buying land within the sandbox, which again is another metaverse, why that is so powerful, if you've ever played Minecraft, is its usability and functionality to not only own land, create an experience within that land, but build your own NFT, so your own assets. And you don't need any coding experience to do that. They've got Vox Edit, they've got Game Maker, which is all sat there for you to build. So you could be, one of our symbols is the bee, because we want it to be a symbol of sustainability, but we also find that bees are fantastic when you explain sensors going across a building for optimization in terms of collecting data. I could go on to VoxEdit right now within the sandbox, create a bee that is very much the MKL bee, and then turn that into an NFT, have that in my world in the sandbox. And let's say I had 1 million followers on a social platform somewhere, I could then sell that. But think about it this way. What if you start building smart contracts into your real world? So let's say for example you design a car. Just off the top of my head, you design a car. And it's a one-off car. Do you remember when if you ever watched Top Gear, you've seen the the one-off Jaguars and things like that that are ridiculously priced, 500,000 quid or £1 million, some of them. But let's say you do that in the physical world, but you also attach a smart contract to that, and you sell that, and you create an NFT of that car. That could be a 3D moving object, a picture, whatever it might be. But within that NFT, you've got the smart contract. And in that smart contract, it would say, every time that car is sold on, trigger this royalty. So if it's a one-of-one car, and that car's 500 grand, let's say it's a one-off-one NFT. Let's say that NFT is 500 grand. You've created that NFT. Someone buys that NFT. So you've sold your actual car for $1 million, but then you've sold your NFT of the car. Sorry, you sold the car, physical car for 500 grand. You sold the actual digital NFT for 500 grand. You made £1 million for that asset. 500 grand physical car, 500 grand NFT. Now, when that car is then subsequently sold on, because you're the original creator of the smart contract, you can also write in that smart contract that you get a royalty as well. So the person that buys the NFT has got the NFT. They get a royalty for whenever the car's resold. You also get a royalty as well whenever that car's resold. And don't forget that car will probably go up in value. So you could percentage that. And because it's a smart contract, it's instantaneous. There's no middleman sat there. It's instant trigger. Cars sold, royalty payment. Think about that in terms of your business. If you're, I had it, what's Sean saying? Yeah, very much so. Yeah, like royalties to a song. Very similar. But it's a car. It could be anything. If the demand is there for it, scarcity is obviously key. So you're not going to do it on, if you sat here and you got a Renault Clio on your driveway and you're looking outside going, could I NFT that? Well, you could. You could build a smart contract around it. Is someone going to buy it? I don't know. I don't know. But it's, where can that go? As I said, it's got a long tail end of this in terms of the NFT world. So it's like when YouTube came about, not everybody's destined to be Gary Vee or Logan Paul or in TikTok world. I can't remember the name of the people who are big on TikTok. But you always have sort of like the top end of any platform earning the big bucks. But like there was in YouTube, like there is in TikTok, there's a big tail to this. So if you're a photographer and you're very talented, you might be currently earning zero money for your art. But you could turn them into NFTs and earn maybe 20, 25 grand a year, which you weren't earning before this came along, this technology. All backed up, all completely robust via the blockchain. That's a different revenue stream, a new revenue stream. Maybe you're an accountant. Maybe you're on 80 grand a year. Sat there going, I'm really talented. I can draw cool things. I can do something that adds value, that is beautiful, subjective, powerful, dangerous in terms of your art. You could quite easily sack that job off, put your art, build your portfolio, which you probably already have. Build your portfolio, convert that to an NFT range, and sell it. You might even make the same amount of money you were as an accountant. How happier would you be as a result of that? Monetizing this is key. Access is key. I think I heard Gary Vee say he's selling NFTs at the moment, and if anybody buys those, that means that within that smart contract, it is triggered that any show he does, face-to-face show, you get front row tickets every time as part of that smart contract through that NFT. So not only is that NFT growing in value, but your royalties as a result of that are access. And what if you're an influential business person? What if you want to run masterclasses? What if you want to give someone a personal experience? You can do that now. And that creates value for you and for the person buying it. Where else could this go? You think about it from our world, FM. There's some technology already available around AR, artificial reality. So the difference between VR is, like you saw there within Horizon Worlds, that's VR. You're very much in a virtual world. AR is putting digital aspects within the real world. So, for example, this here that we had framed, which was our first NFT, if you were watching this through AR glasses, maybe that would trigger an action of that bee coming out and flying around, or whatever that could be. But let's say you're an engineer and you're in a plant room, and it's part of a new contract. You haven't been paid over because you'd already know that site. Let's say it's a new site to you as well. So are you going to be an expert in every single piece of equipment in that plant room? Probably not. However, from a efficiency point of view, in terms of savings, first time fix rates, customer experience, what if that engineer tagged as part of the onboarding process every single one of those assets? So all those assets in there, let's say you've got a specific AC unit, you've got a certain fan coil, certain BMS, whatever that might be. Within your organization, you will have experts, or within your network, you will have experts of people that could run you through diagnostics checks to show you what to do. Okay, so that, instead of picking up the phone. Not too advanced yet, but let's then say we tagged all those assets, and when I put my AR headset on, or glasses, technology isn't quite yet there, well, not there at all yet for these sort of level. I think Mark Zuckerberg said it was like 5-6 years away before they get anywhere near this in terms of looking like glasses. They've got the Ray-Ban ones at the moment, but they just take a picture and film. But in terms of, I could put my glasses on like this and I could walk around London and look to my side, and I could have my 7-year-old there, but he's sat in Leeds. That technology is coming, but it's not there yet. But let's say he does have these, puts on his glasses, the equipment's not performing as it should be. All the diagnostic checks are running through via the various sensors, showing to the dashboard there's a problem, which the sensor or the actuators or however the system is connected can't deal with. Okay, so you need that engineer magic, that engineer fairy dust. Those engineers that can come in and just go, you just do this with it, and it works again. Now, he puts on his AR glasses, and instantaneously at the side of him is Paul. And Paul's the BMS engineer. Looks exactly like he is there, other than a weird, bizarre, ghosty outline. It's a hologrammatic impression of him. Now, at the moment, that hologram could go through a set of protocols pre-programmed. So this is happening, then what? But the engineer is talking directly to the engineer through a script trigger points. It's a bit like, when you go to the train station and you see those cutouts where it's it looks like a real person, but it's not, and it's sort of got very basic prompts and commands. Fast forward a little bit further, and let's say Paul is working from home, the BMS engineer, the expert, and I call him or connect with him in some way and say, can we jump into the meta and deal with this? Now, the metaverse isn't just what you saw there in terms of virtual horizon worlds. The metaverse can be here as well, but I can bring him into my real world, but as if he's sat with me, stood with me at the BMS panel, talking, engaging. We can have a conversation. Can't touch or feel each other. Not that you would want to do that, but he's there. He's basically there, but he's not there. But he's walking me through how to do it. I mean, imagine it from a building checks point of view, and if you got various tags around the building, you could walk the site. Your avatar can walk the site. Maybe there's a number of sensors that are connected that can be triggered as part of you walking around that site to generate a response. I've walked around the site, or sensors are telling me that the building is unoccupied. I just want to go and have a look. I want to be a presence on site. Yeah, the technology is telling me everything's okay on the dashboard, but I'll just want to go and have a walk around and have a look. Go and have a walk around. Be at home. Chilling out. Is your avatar. Have a look at those synthetic avatars. They are terrifying because they look exactly like you. I don't know if I think I'd want that. I want my avatar to be a bit different. And isn't that cool as well? You can be anything. anything you want to be. I might be a T-Rex. My son wants to be a T-Rex, his avatar. So when we start to build our version, MKL's version of the metaverse, contributing to the community, but from a building optimization point of view, I am going to put my son in there as an avatar, but he's going to be a T-Rex. Maybe we have it as a gamification after we've done our presentations. How many times have you been to a presentation? I mean, we've done this virtual now, haven't we, for the past 18 months? How many times have you been to a presentation and you've stared at either a 15, 18-inch or 21-inch screen, which is what I'm looking at the moment, but you're very much confined by the screen? It's boring, isn't it? What if we could all get into that presentation together? What if I could bring it to life for you, change things as we're discussing it? What ideas would come? How much more collaborative would that be? What things would shake loose? It's exciting. It's really exciting. And we've spoke about building optimization for years within MKL, and the changes that are coming, nothing's going to change in terms of our core competencies. So we will still be traditional hard electrical engineering, because we need to build the physical world. We need to educate FM building optimization individuals and the sector to move through this transition. But it's going to happen quickly. But for others, it will happen at lightning pace. For others, it will be a bit slow. But that's fine. This isn't a case of we need to get there tomorrow. This is where it's going. So we will very much still do as we have always done, the digital FM piece. If you're going to have a distribution board cover off, why not put a load of technology in at the same time? Makes sense, which is why the whole business model works for us. But there's another bow to the cap now, and that is, as well as the electrical engineering, as well as the hard assets in terms of technology for building optimization, and being underpinned by world-class CX, there's the exploration into the metaverse. I had a conversation yesterday about be careful what I say. I had a conversation yesterday about helping design a thesis for a PhD in building optimization via the metaverse. Yeah. I had a conversation with a professor about how can we, as an MKL, help sponsor a PhD student around building optimization within the FM world via the metaverse. 4-year course, a doctorate in a PhD in the metaverse. You know, this is happening. It's serious stuff. Don't be fooled, though, in terms of the hype around NFTs. Do your research. 50 hours worth of reading at least, in terms of education of how this works, how to create your MetaMask, how to change your money into Ethereum and then buy on OpenSea or whichever platform you want to use. Don't just assume that you're seeing a bored monkey for $300,000. Don't pour all your money into these NFTs, because it is a gamble. It's like anything. It is a gamble. It is a gamble, and sometimes the gamble pays off. It's like anything, isn't it? Crypto or with the traditional stocks, the gamble can pay off, but also it can go the other way. And there's a lot of crap coming in because of the hype. It's like the dot-com boom. When the bubble burst, which this will, we didn't lose the internet, did we? We kept the internet, and we will keep what is left of this. NFTs are not going anywhere. The blockchain definitely isn't. Cryptocurrencies, the metaverse, how your business is going to look and perform over the next 5 to 10 years is going to significantly change. Up your knowledge on smart contracts in terms of the possibilities of what you can do with that. Have a look around how virtual worlds can enhance collaboration. Think about it from a business entertainment point of view. Doesn't have to be boring. Why does it have to be boring? Think about the next generation coming through your organization. These are young people that have grown up and know nothing but gaming. This will be easy for them to understand. This will be easy for them to adopt. So you don't want to be in a very senior position and stifle it because you don't understand it. Be a part of it. Allow yourself to be vulnerable because you don't know all the answers. Nobody really does because it is so new. Bring people around you who can give you informed information so you can make an informed decision about what to do with this. But do something, no matter how small it is. I think that's it. I think we'll end it there. Seeing if I've got anything else. No. We are all good. I'm not going to go live now until 2022. And the next time I'm going to go live is with the announcements that we're going to make of some of the changes that we've made within MKL, which are very exciting in terms of where we're going. But have a great one. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a good time with your families. Be merry. And yeah, see you in 2022.